So everybody, I'd like to call this meeting into order. It is 5 p.m. This is a meeting of the Public Safety Subcommittee. I am joined by another member of this committee, Councilor Brian Santinello. Thank you for joining us, Councilor, as well as our Council President, our fearless leader, Tracy Whitfield. I'm also joined by a former City Councilor, one of the women who helped put this together, Ms. Barbara Gard. Thank you for your years of service. Thank you for helping us out. So, I'll go around the room briefly, just kind of have everybody introduce themselves, say hello. But again, the main topic of discussion tonight is the, party related disturbances, speeding concerns, public safety issues that, are resulted from, one of the homes on, Sunbriar Road. So, you wanna take us off? So,
Start telling what happened. Yeah,
Or-
how we came about.
yeah, if you want to just
Okay.
introduce yourself and say,
Oh,
what are you doing?
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Barbara Gard, I live on 28 Sunbriar Road.
Ray Jenkins.
That's what I'm saying. That's not the little boy. Not anymore.
Her grandson.
Oh, okay.
I'm Lisa Jenkins, his mother.
I'm Elizabeth Glenn. He's my son, my daughter, my grandson.
Wow.
Former.
Joe Barrett, 28 Sunbriar Road.
John Pringle, 35 Sunbriar Road.
Amy Pringle, 35 Sunbriar Road.
Pringle.
Oh my God.
I'm Lene Brown, 85 Scarsdale.
85, Nancy Brown, 85 Stars, they're over there for 7 years.
How long?
7.
How long?
Stacy, you wanna?
Oh, yes, I apologize.
No,
I was putting on my do not disturb, on my phone, so. Stacy Pringle. The Pringle family, 35 Sunbriar.
I'm 44 Sunbriar Road, I'm Doris Goodson, I live in Edith's house. Tracy Black is my daughter also.
Yeah.
I'm Rose Tatro, 53 Sunbriar Road.
Mike Tatro, 53 Sunbriar Road.
Linda Boyer, 63 Sunbriar Road.
I'm Bill Boyer. I live at 63 Sunbriar Road too.
Everyone, I'm Rick Girouette. I'm the lieutenant that works the 4 to midnight. I am primarily responsible for the south side of the city, which includes the Forest Park area and most of 16 acres.
Thank you for being here, Lieutenant.
Yep.
Before we also get going into kind of what's going on here, I also like to acknowledge the Councilor from Ward 5, Councilor LeVar Cook Bruce. Thank you for joining us, Councilor. And then, so I mean, Ms. Barr or anybody else for that matter, we want to just kind of inform the officer and myself with what's going on, more like detailed explanation of some of the concerns that have been going on.
So, I'll get the floor to all of you guys. I'll just sit here for a while. Mike?
I think the biggest thing is everybody has graduation parties, stuff like that. That's fine. We all understand that. But when the parties end up in everybody else's yards, and then you ask people to leave your yard. And I had one girl come at me. The only good thing that worked out was a guy that was with her grabbed her and pulled her away. But she was coming at me like she wanted to hit me. I mean,
But I think what you need to also say is this happened last year,
well, it's been.
a year ago, and then 2 nights on Friday and Saturday night of this year.
It was 3 days this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
There's only, I think, 2 days last year.
Yeah.
But it was 3 days this year.
This was all night.
And then, you know, I went out 3 different occasions. Had people parking right in front of your driveway. I just asked politely. And I gotta say. Couple gentlemen going to the party. I caught him, I says, hey, could you just ask whoever to please move their car? To say, I don't wanna start no trouble, you know, just move your car, please. So. He looked at me, said, no problem, shook my head, he went in. Shortly thereafter, 2 girls come out. Gave me a little grief, but they moved their cars.
But I don't think
At
many
one
of
point-
them are as kind as that, because what happens is we have cars parked on both sides of our street. And this was a concern that we shared with Jerry, with Council Martin, I'm sorry. If we needed an ambulance, nobody could have gotten down that street. And if there was one party going, there had to be 200 to 300 kids. And they were drinking,
It's full,
it was full.
when the school cleared down past, Mrs. Brown's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last party. Toward the end there, someone ended up getting hit by a car. From someone at the party. Oh, you could. It was a little more excitement than you need. You know, people were kind of a little out of control. When they were leaving the parties. A lot of them were just flooring their gas pedals and flying down the road. And now, mind you, there's cars on both sides. Slightly feeling low people walking up the street. You know, and like I said, one of them got hit. The ambulance, the fire truck showed up. And took them away.
I have a large driveway, so in my driveway, they all turn around. So for the most part, they would turn around and sit in the driveway for like 15-20 minutes.
I had that, I had one that I had to run out of my driveway, not quite so politely, but. And then there was also kids up in my driveway, clear up at the end by my desk, running them off, but. I gotta say though, I can't totally blame the people that live there. I mean, yeah, you have a party, but you get so many people, networking, oh, got a party here. And it's a lot of the other people come in that, weren't even invited necessarily, and that's where it really turns into a disaster. I mean, one of the boys there, I don't remember his name, he actually tried to control it for a little bit, but then he couldn't even.
And the problem is that Sunbriar Road now is a lot of elderly people and single women living on the street. And they were all scared to death. It was no quality of life living there. And, I was shocked, Libby, to hear that the house belonged to you. Because you were always a great neighbor. But the woman doesn't care. I mean, it's going on. I also understand that she has 2 foster children living in that house. And my God, if you could have seen the people in the yard, I've got video from Rose and from what I took. And if you could have seen the people, and if those poor kids were inside of that house, they should have been reported to DSS. Because that is wrong. And I mean, this is the same house that back when Billy Fitchett was commissioner, filling in, we had gunshots. Someone was standing in Hampton East, shooting the man that was living in that house. The man jumped out of the window in his underwear,
Yeah.
ran and got in his car and took off. Now, I know these are three different incidents.
This is like in the morning, like 7 o'clock, cause I was on my way to. work.
Yeah.
And I seen it and I was like,
But even now,
That makes
just last year, not even. The kid shot himself in the front yard.
So someone's got a gun in the house.
No, that was,
2 years ago?
no, oh, 3 or 4 years ago, that incident.
The one in
that
the
is that
morning.
one,
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, but there's a new one.
Yeah, the kid that shot himself was just recently.
Okay.
I ran over to treat him.
Mhm. Right,
And,
would you like to, can I speak?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
My name is, again, Elizabeth Glenn, and I did live in the house 30, 40 years ago. And, I'm just surprised that I heard of this through anonymous call that this meeting was taking place. That's why I came down to find out, because I haven't heard anything about it, and I'm just surprised that nobody called me.
Well, Maxine, we invited Maxine to the meeting.
Mm-hmm,
And Maxine sat there Sunday and kept saying, well, I know the owner.
mm-hmm,
And I said, well, last year I called the city council office
mm-hmm,
and found out who the owners were.
mm-hmm,
William and Elizabeth Glenn,
right,
LLC.
right.
And I looked everywhere to try and call that number and couldn't find a number. So Sunday, Maxine sat there and kept saying, well, I've got the number.
Mm-hmm.
Well, would you give it to me so I could call?
Well, I am on the computer, because I can see it, my name, everything, you know, the
Yeah.
business, it's on the computer, so I mean, I'm not that hard to find, that I know. There is a tenant there, a young lady there, and as far as I know, I have not had any problems with her. She did tell me that on June 12th, that she was going to have a party. She said that it was, somebody, one of her kids was graduating from, high school, and then somebody that was 15 years old. And that she was having a party.
Yeah.
I said, well, you know, I can't tell people
No,
not to have a
everybody
party, or
deserves
not,
attention.
right, right.
Yeah.
You know, we do respect the house, they're not tearing up the house, so. And I'm just so surprised though, if all this is going on, it's not reported to the police.
Oh my God.
Then they haven't resolved the issue, cause I can't resolve the issue.
So I think it should be a good time for Lieutenant.
Yeah,
For what to
So
chime in.
obviously, this is I did a little research before we
Yeah.
came up. The last month and a half, luckily, things have hopefully quelled. Because I'm going based on the calls that we did.
right,
But on that night, the 12th and the 13th.
yeah.
We did get multiple calls.
Mm-hmm,
I got one call all the way from Nassau Drive, which is obviously,
mm-hmm,
but I got simultaneously complaints about how, you know, the music was loud enough for them to hear. Again, I'm not here to decide,
no,
and I don't think anyone is particularly at fault other than them losing control, like you said, of the party.
right,
But there is one common theme that it appears, I don't know how long the tenants have been there. Or if someone was there before, I called a couple of the officers that work there at night to say, hey, what have you guys experienced? One of the officers seems to think either years before or in the past, maybe there might have been a couple other houses rented out to college kids, maybe not your house.
No, not.
None, right? None. So other than that, other than this one incident that happened on the 12th and 13th, we don't have anything leading up to from this date, from a month ago,
mhm,
with like ongoing parties. So that I'm here because I want to get more info on that.
mhm,
The other thing we're gonna do is I would highly suggest that if you have them tell you that they're gonna host that type of party, or the minute you guys find out something like this is going on, the officers that do go up there, they do an initial assessment. And based on what they can assess and based on what they understand, like I'm reading the notes on the calls. Couple of them were asking to see, maybe they turned down some of the music when the cops got there. Another one said it seemed safe. The music wasn't that loud, but it's 11 o'clock at night. One of the other nights on the 13th, they went at 8. One of the supervisors shows up. He assesses the situation. Based on the public safety concern for the access to the street and the amount of people, we get to shut down that part. We get to have people leave. So I would advise that at least going forward, everyone sitting in this room, don't be afraid for, I'd love to see 10 of these in front of me rather than just 2 on one night and 2 on the other. We do care and we do read these reports, just so I only have
Just 2 calls?
two for each that we were able to find today.
Oh my goodness, your neighbor next door called 3 times.
Yes,
I called 4.
yes.
So it's
And
possible.
everybody else here had called.
So what ends up happening, and I'll find out, because we don't go directly to dispatch, I'm going based on the system that we have.
Yeah, after.
The system that we have, I don't know if they merged them. Or if they got the multiple calls and they didn't create more calls, but I'll do my research on that.
That might be it, yeah,
I'm sure
because
he
I
did,
know
'cause I thought-
dispatcher would say, oh, I've had multiple calls about this street.
Right, yeah.
So if it's just
I
2,
guess my other question would be, as you guys said, it's happening every year. Did I get a little background on that?
It was last year.
Passover
It's
last year, Passover.
about that
yeah.
age.
Is it the same family?
Yes,
2 years in a row?
yes, and then they had a party later on in the summer.
Birthdays and graduations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed to be one was in April and then one was in June this year, correct?
Last year,
Last year was April?
April, this year, one is June.
She gives one every year. She does
But
too.
you know what's happening, it's not the parties, I think it's the amount of people that.
It's ridiculous.
yeah.
At least 300 people.
Yeah.
And I was like upset that the fact of the matter is, a police officer came, and I said, this one police officer cannot be on the
Correct.
bus.
And I noticed them, and
Then
twice,
he came back with more people. Well, 1 second, came back with more people, which I was like praising God. I'll tell you, I was so happy. I said, thank you, Jesus. My grandson was there and he was terrified. Okay. 5 years old, didn't even want to go to sleep because he thought something was gonna happen.
Right.
Okay, this is not a neighborhood that I would say that my grandson or anybody else should be. Okay, they know, they used to live there, they know, nice neighborhood, and I know times are changing and things happen, and that's the thing. But my problem was, is when he came back again, and he came back with either 4 or 5, maybe 6, who knows what yesterday. And then people started leaving, and I was like, thank you, God, hey, this is over. As soon as they left, all those people who came, or another batch, came right back again, and here we go again. And then when it was called again, nobody came.
It's yours,
Okay.
it's simple.
It should have been shut down.
yeah,
There's no excuse. It should have been shut down.
I agree, that's why I've said to other situations that we've gone to, once the party, you show up to a house party. And those stipulations are there, it's always a public safety issue, that many people blocking the street. We have every right to shut it down and have people leave, so I can't speak for what happened that night. But I can speak to that
Nights.
going, nights,
All 4 nights.
yeah, that's not.
Maybe 5, because you guys said that it lasted, one of them,
No,
the parties lasted
last
3 nights,
party
right?
was
Yes,
3
3 nights
nights.
instead of, so that's 5
Well,
nights.
The biggest,
Yeah, 5.
the bad part about it, and the biggest problem I think everybody has is. The party doesn't go to that house,
Right.
it's down the whole street.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a kid behind my boat in my yard. Taking a leak,
Yeah.
my wife and this lady walking down the street. When you come down Scarsdale around the curve to Sunbriar,
At 5 o'clock.
car stops, 4 guys jump out.
Yeah,
They don't hide in the bushes, they run out through the bushes and they just start being in the
Yeah.
bushes.
Right
in front of us,
like we didn't
know what
was going on.
At least hide behind a bush, I mean, come on. No,
Now,
That was a top or something.
that one incident at 5 in the afternoon was correlated to the
This
party
party,
event,
yeah.
that same stream.
Yeah.
Yes,
Started early, about 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
early on the streets, with bottles in their hands.
oh, yeah,
And I'll tell you, a couple of them I looked at, I don't know if they were even old enough, but whatever.
They get
I
out
did
of their
say that.
car with an open container.
But they're coming back out. They have one girl walked into my yard. And if the two people with her weren't holding her upright, every step she took, she went this way, that way. She would have never made it. She would have had to fall to the car.
Yes.
When I did hear what was going on, I did have a young lady. And I told her that about this meeting, actually, I told her about the meeting. And that the neighbors said they were very concerned about what was going on. I know she's very happy to have a single family home, but I told her she was jeopardizing her tenants. But I will also say this to people, evicting people is not easy and it's great.
Yes, yes.
I know, I'm not saying I want her to go, I know that's not what you're saying. You just want some peace over there, and you want things to quiet down.
right.
I did speak to her about it. I told her that she was jeopardizing her tenancy. I told her I would let her know the outcome of this meeting here.
Yeah.
And believe me, I feel your pain here, you know, because it's a nice neighborhood. I live in a nice neighborhood right now myself, and I would not want that anybody to be suffering. And I can see, look around, I may be even older than you folks. When you get the age that you want peace, and if you got grandchildren, you want your grandchildren to have peace, and I do too, and I want you to have it too. I feel very bad about what you're going through. I hear you and I believe you. You know, I don't see it myself, but I know that you're not sitting here making these stories up.
Libby, she's such a nice girl. When the party is over,
Mhm.
she goes and she has a bag and she's going on everybody's lawn, taking all the beer,
Yeah.
all the receptacles and everything, because
Yeah,
it's all over the place.
yeah.
Stuff is all over the place, you know.
That's the problem. The problem is.
I will speak, I'll speak to her again,
Yeah, go ahead.
and I will tell her she's probably gonna have to keep the parties down. You know, and that if it happens again, she's putting herself in jeopardy. I know she wants to continue to live there, I know that.
Could you throw in?
And if you want to, I'll give you my address, my telephone number,
Yeah.
and you can call me. You know, I don't have problems about, you know, I wish I had heard it before it got to this, you know, to this point. But, you know, I mean, I'm happy to see everybody and, you know, everybody is.
How many people live in the house, including her?
Oh, that's a good one.
She has 3 boys, I believe, and she has foster kids.
True foster.
Yeah, they're her relatives. Of somebody and her friend, and she has taken them.
Are they all younger than 18? Or do you
Yeah,
think her kids are older.
No, I think, one is 20.
Okay.
And then-
So 8 people live in.
How many?
8 people.
No. Now, my son, this son here, he's my manager. He's been out there quite often. Yeah.
Nobody's been managing.
Well, I mean, we're talking now managing you know, repairs.
Well, no, she don't call really, so
No,
she's one of the good tenants.
Yeah.
Here for her.
Pays the
She
rent.
pays the rent on time. So the parties, like I said, we just now hearing about the parties being out of control like this.
Well, they
No,
they
like-
hand around and the storm dark, you're gonna have to work on.
Yeah.
No, so she don't call me for, Harley, she,
Time the wind blows.
so.
If you would make it to her, everybody pulls out of that driveway, takes off like a rocket down the street, including her. The living girlfriend that drives the black car and some other cars that are in there.
You
And
know about everybody that visits.
just boom, they're like a rocket right down the street.
But you do understand there's a lot of things I can't control.
Yes, I know.
It's just a mental.
I can mention it to her, but I can't control.
Cause I mean, I knew, Todd
Yes.
and Willie, and I've helped them out in the past.
We've been there for.
Todd walking down the road, he had his thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, it was pouring right now. I said, Todd, jump in, I give him a ride home.
Yeah.
You know, I took care of them guys. Not hard to get along with.
No,
But
no.
when you bring it in my yard,
Oh, yeah.
and then the worst part is this girl's ready to slap me in my own yard. Cause I asked her.
It's not the
please.
tenant though. because-
No, no,
no.
But that was.
Realize.
But what she said to me, and Bill,
Mhm,
that your tenant,
Mhm.
she come over and talk to us.
mhm,
And she goes, Mr. Tatro, I'm trying to keep him from parking in front of your house.
mhm.
I said, no. I'm not worried about him parking in front of my house. Everybody has a right to.
Mhm.
I says, what bothers me is when they park in front of my driveway.
Nobody can get in.
I says, you know, that's not really
Safe.
cool. And then she looked at me and she goes, well, don't worry about the music. She goes, it's a little loud right now, but she goes, 11 o'clock, we'll turn it down. I had to get up at 4 a.m. And at 2 a.m, that music was still flying.
Yeah.
That's when the 4 officers showed up, maybe 5. And one of them ended up chasing a kid down the street, grabbed him. And shortly, just before that is when they were taking away the person in the ambulance. They got whacked by the car.
Yeah.
From one of the cars leaving the party. And that's what he's saying. They just take off and, I mean, you got all kinds of people there. You know, if that was a kid or something, if that was your kid,
But one
anybody's,
thing I wanna say, last year.
that's
when this
too
hit,
late.
I got up and I called the city council office. Because no longer can you look anywhere and find out the numbers for the city councilors, and even, we're in Ward 5, we have a man, LeVar Cliff Bruce. Susan, oh, he's here. Look at that, we don't hear from him, but anyway.
This was unrespectful to the
Yeah.
council, but it was.
Yeah, anyway, Susan contacted our Ward 5 city councilor. She contacted the police commissioner, Larry Abers, and the commissioner sent a police officer to my house, asked for a report. I gave him the report. Never heard from our city councilor. And in her notes from the council office, there was a report of one officer. Now, I don't know if it's a Vietnamese name. And he had stopped by at 11 o'clock, went to the house. And this, in his comment, everything was under control. Now, that was last April. Was everything under control? No.
So the biggest thing I would say is, again, I wanna thank everyone for being here, and obviously it's my first time meeting you all. I've been on the job 30 years. I've been working for the midnight for 2. And I'm responsible for part of the area that you're speaking. I actually live right around the corner. I've lived there for 20 years. So I've lived in the city my whole life, and I plan on living here till the Lord allows me to. So that being said, I can hear everything you're saying, and I can reassure you, I'm gonna have some follow-ups, not only with the guys that work up there on a regular. But as you guys have seen, we have a lot of new officers coming on the job. So we do have officers rotating on every shift that are brand new. And don't necessarily work up in that area on a regular. But what I do is, when I leave this meeting, I follow up with the supervisors that work in that area. Because most of these supervisors are assigned to these areas. And they can follow up no matter if it's a newer guy or a guy that's tenured and working in that area. That's the first thing. The other thing that I'm gonna ask is, every single time, because you guys have seen the pattern for the last 2 years, every single time you guys notice the same thing happen again, you're saying, this looks like it's gonna end up being something that we do not want to happen. There are specific things that I'd like for you guys to tell the dispatchers when you're calling. One, It appears to be that they're gonna have another party. The last couple times they've had 300+ people. They blocked the streets where ambulance and public safety apparatus can't get down the street. And based on the information I just got today, there's no one that's over 21 years old that lives on that house other than the woman that is currently
Yeah.
leasing the home out. So that is a huge indicator for me, unless you obviously can see, and the law allows us to do that. If you can obviously see that everyone is of an adult age, based on everyone's adult experience here, then we might not want to judge and say, hey, this person shouldn't be drinking. But if you guys see a good amount of young individuals that appear that they may look like they're under 21, that's another important piece of information that when you put over to the dispatchers, he goes over the air. You may not request a supervisor initially, but please, 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 after you make your initial calls, I hope these things never happen again. But if she tries to throw another party this year or soon thereafter, we want you to give that specific information because it sets off certain things for us to be able to take action. Not that we're not gonna take action if you don't give us the info, but it helps drive sending more than just one officer initially. And it also helps drive the supervisors that are hearing the call to say, hey, anyone that looks like they're underage, you have every right to check their age. And then what happens is we start taking action against the person that's responsible. So the adult that's responsible for the house could get fined, could get charged, it could potentially get arrested. I don't want that to happen to anyone, but at least we want to set the tone going forward that this can't happen anymore.
She said she's having a party for her 12-year-old in the near future.
Understood, but you need to explain to her, and I'll let the counselor take over that. If any minors are in possession of alcohol in her home or related to the party that they're at, she's going to be charged just like they will. And it's just what we should be doing.
That was about
Yeah.
12 o'clock.
So if I just can have the floor for just a quick minute, everybody. At first, I do want to thank, Ms. Glenn for being here. I mean, I've known you for a few years now.
Yes.
I've known you to be an extremely responsible and attentive person. So, thank you for, agreeing to be here and I'm sorry about the miscommunication. I think the best plan going forward is it seems that you have pretty open communication with the tenants, you let you know when this goes on. Right away, you call myself, Lieutenant Virouette, or one of our neighborhood point people over here, whether it's Miss Guard or Stacy, Miss Brown, whoever you may know in the neighborhood. Call us right away so we can put it on their radar,
Okay.
so they know, because now they have a point in it. They've made a point to be aware of the situation, they know about the property, so now we can be all hands on deck in case it is to ever get out of here. So
I gave my number and my son's number, that if something, even before it gets to the police, if you see something building up, just give me a call and we'll run out there and check it. I know, there's a couple of people here know how to get in touch with me.
Yeah.
And I'm open to hear that,
yes, and just
before
get
it gets too far out of hand.
and just get in touch with us when you know a party's coming.
Right.
That's the big thing.
Okay,
So
I do have a.
thinking,
If the one thing, the biggest thing, everybody has parties.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Let her know, we don't mind her
No.
having a party,
right,
but a controlled party,
right.
not in my yard, not in the neighbor's, not scaring everybody. We all have parties.
We don't have parties like we used to.
Right.
How's that go? I used to be a model.
just showing a video of some of the party stuff going on, goes,
Oh, I like to see that.
Yeah, we'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
so,
That was at 1 AM. I couldn't, I didn't do it at 10, 11, which
Yeah.
was worse.
I've got pictures and videos from earlier.
And then I didn't do it last year
When I
because
went
I was
out-
outside
Trying to
leave my house.
There's three
I had
different
to stop.
videos, and I took a couple.
Then the guys
photos.
shut their doors so I could get out of my street.
You couldn't even get
I
down.
was polite.
Is there, other than the parties, you guys are, another concern that I have to bring with the traffic bureau. So is the car to bring.
Anything comes up, just like, when it's in all park. So,
any hazard party going on?
school, call me over.
Two
As soon as you guys
schools.
find out.
Is that's an entrance to the school?
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll.
So it's a combination of both. I watched two vehicles.
It's not just a deal with the one house, but it's a combination of everything.
Well, that and the school.
Well, there's traffic.
I watched two vehicles from the school. Pass
You
someone
guys-
on our side street,
This is about the traffic.
literally pass them. One guy had a red
Jeff,
U-Haul,
I'll-
which is real stupid, because it's real easy to find.
Yeah,
He passed a car right in front of my house to get down the street.
In the King Ward's big huge
Yes.
buses, they are
Yeah.
coming down to too.
Yeah.
At 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, 12 a.m.
Are they drunk?
I don't know why.
At
1 o'clock.
But
Yes.
there's two entrances to go there, right? Glen Oak and Sunbriar still, it seems like everybody's coming down Sunbriar, everybody.
But
And
you
that-
know,
It's
it's
just-
No, I know
been an
that.
issue since when
The speed.
speed.
President Tracy has been on, because she sat down. You sat down with all of us neighbors back years ago, Tracy, when we met about the horrific traffic and all the problems that we
Oh,
have.
yes, I remember that.
And it's never changed.
No,
It's
it's not
never
worse.
changed, and they don't close the gate.
Never.
No, they
My
said-
husband has lost 3 side view mirrors in the past year. They knock his side view mirror off and just keep on going.
Well, they killed one of the neighbor's dogs, man. The last set of neighbors at your house,
Mhm.
Killed the dog.
car went by from the school.
Yeah.
And the dog kept going, the dog died.
He had car
The
destroyed.
kid was out there crying in the front yard, his kids.
Yeah, and Owen had a car destroyed.
And they ran the thing right over it, kept on going.
And I'd like to, yeah, for the opposite. Now, when you give these type of parties, yeah, I noticed in your video how the kids were hanging in the front. If it's more controlled to the backyard to where they're not hanging out in the front yard,
Right,
that's
so-
what I'm thinking. But I'm just saying in the future.
so for any kind of event on your private property, obviously, we're limited on what we can't do, but for public safety purposes, the time isn't very specific on how long, because people think I can play music at any time of the day. It does not go that way. It's more about how loud the music is, no matter what time of the day. If it's disturbing the peace of other individuals that live within range of the home. The capacity of the home, in other words, if we walk in and even in the yard, it looks like this is pretty dangerous. It doesn't matter if they keep it in the backyard, if for some reason they organized everything and they parked everyone on other side streets and they made it safe to go in there, if we show up and everyone's in the backyard and we're like, hey, this is very unsafe because you can't move, and if something were to happen here, we'd be in serious trouble, we could also shut the party down. So it's a combination of many variables. You just gotta make sure that when we show up, that it's safe, not only for the people that are at the party, that there's no underage drinking, that the music isn't disturbing anyone else, and that obviously on the public road, that it's safe to go to and from. So it just depends. All those things have to come into play, when we respond to the house.
Okay, all of those things were in play. I'm just saying, all those things were in play.
Yep.
Why was the parties shut down?
I can't answer that question for you, and I'm sorry, I can't. I can tell you that I'm gonna be talking to some people when I get back in the next couple of days. I'm gonna reach out to traffic, I'll reach out to ordinance, I'll talk to the supervisors that work in that area on all 3 shifts. And obviously, I am gonna personally follow up with the guys that work for free. To make sure, at least from 4 to midnight, that you guys have some people coming through to see what's going on.
Lieutenant, I asked, when you get that information, would you kindly share it with myself and Council Clerk?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you know, also, please check with dispatch. Because the first day, the Friday night that they started with the party at 6 o'clock, bright as ever out,
Yeah.
they were lining up on both sides of the street, and I called the police department and told them. Now, I know we don't have the right to say to the dispatcher, what's your name? Because, I mean, we need to be validated that somebody's listening to us down there. That's what's happened the past, all those
So
times.
every time you call 911, or even if you call the non-emergency, everything's recorded. And everything's recorded not only voice wise, as far as your conversation with the dispatcher, but every time someone calls, there's a number and a documentation that at least the call was given. Now, in this instance, like I said, I only went back a month. This, you know, and I said, hey, give me June, when it happened, and then give me something between the end of June and August. So obviously, I got the 4 calls, particularly that, and it shows, after you mentioned that multiple people call, it shows that some of the calls were merged, but everything is done. So if something were to happen and you're worried that there was no response, we're gonna be able to follow up immediately and find out if someone didn't do their job.
But the hurtful thing too is, you know, talking with everyone. When I worked at AMR, and I knew what all our dispatchers were doing and the responses that they would make.
Yeah.
When I called, oh yes, we have multiple calls. Well, are you sending someone? Oh, yes. One said, I'll send a police officer over to your house. And I said, no, don't do that. A cop car pulls in my driveway and everybody and their uncle knows who called the cops.
Yeah.
I said, I just want cruisers down our street.
Yeah.
To take care of what is going on.
I could,
To the private, yeah.
yes,
And again, we don't mind parties, but that was, that was, I don't know what that.
Oh,
So you had no idea this was happening at the house, right?
No, not to this extent.
So
So
no
no,
one
she was party, but I didn't know. you know,
Okay, just wanna make sure that, so you were able, that's why you were able to assist anything, because no one told you.
No, and I didn't know anything, and I was surprised that nobody, if
Yeah.
it was.
I live on Scarsdale and I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
So I just found out just.
If I could have everybody, I just see that Council President Tracy Whitfield has her hand up. Would you like to comment, Madam President?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank everybody for coming all the way downtown to have this meeting and being able to communicate with each other the way that you are, especially the homeowner who is renting and you being here and listening to the concerns and everybody understanding that it's not the young lady. We don't want anybody to be displaced, but there's also concerns about you all's quality of life, which we all understand as well. So I really appreciate that. And then I heard something about traffic. That was so long ago. I was like, me? And then I was like, oh yeah, I remember that conversation. But something did happen because I remember them putting up the signs to measure the traffic and things like that. So things don't always happen as soon as we want them to, but they do happen. And then the final thing that I really wanted to say is sometimes we get overwhelmed because we have a bunch of people reaching out to us. So if we don't return your call like immediately or in the amount of time that you think we should, just I always say give me a gentle nudge because sometimes I forget or sometimes it just doesn't get to me. Because the number that is on the website, because the number I had before got turned off. And so the number on the website is the city council staff and they will email us what what was said. And we don't sometimes get to those right away. So just a gentle nudge for us will be welcome for me anyway, because there's just a lot on all of our plates, and that's not an excuse. We still should be getting back to our constituency, but we are here to listen. We can only do what we can. Some things are like out of our purview, so we don't have the administrative side Like we're not over the police department, we're not over dispatch or 911, but we are the closest folks to the constituency. And so we take your concerns and bring them back to the departments, but the departments, just to be transparent, do fall under the mayor's administration. And so if you really want some action done, sometimes you can call the mayor's staff. What's their titles of our the mayor constituent services, and they get
The mayoral aides.
yeah, mayoral aides. They get better responses than us because they work directly for him. So do both, like contact us and contact them, because then we'll have a better chance of getting the work done together. But like none of these departments report to us. We do what we can, but we can't make anybody do anything, and it's all gonna come from the mayor's directive or the department has directive at the end of the day, but we will communicate it with them. But I just wanted to thank you all for coming out and taking the time in this evening to work this out together. Like I don't normally see that, but it was very like I was very happy to be in this room where you all are discussing the problems as neighbors together and working it out. So I just wanted to say that, and I commend you all for doing this. Thank you.
Councilor Cliff Bruce?
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I want to thank you for having this meeting. I did hear my name mentioned that I didn't get back to a constituent. Rather than going back and forth with that, and agreeing with Councilor Whitfield mentioned, I just want to simply say I apologize. I'm human. I did reach out to the police department to have a resolution. If I didn't get back to you in a convenient time, I'm truly humbled and I'm truly apologetic to that. To the homeowners, I want to thank you for coming down and listening and making sure that we have your numbers just in case something does pop up, that we can call you directly to try to curb the situation that's happened on Sunbriar. So again, I want to thank you all for coming down and hearing your concerns, looking to work with you all to make sure the quality of life is being addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you both for joining us today, Madam President and Councilor Cliff Bruce. I know you both to be hardworking public servants and always doing your best and worked with me on a number of issues and have been extremely helpful. So thank you for coming and representing the people. Is there anybody else? Anybody else have any final? I think we have a good plan in place. We let a lot out in the air, and Miss Glenn is going to be extremely helpful as well as Mr. Jenkins. And we'll all do our best to be in contact with the police department and our neighbors. So
Would she be receptive if I went to visit her, talk to her?
I think so.
Yeah, because I think,
I think
She's
so, yeah.
friendly.
Yes, I think so.
just, I want to at least, be able to talk to her and give her some.
I'll let her know that you'll be in touch with her. Yes, I think.
Next couple days,
Right.
that
I
way
think
she knows in advance.
That's a good idea. I think
Okay.
that's a great
We're not
idea.
trying to throw her under.
No, I want to help her, because
Yeah.
it just sounds like she's got that many kids there, and sounds like they like to party, which is, I think we all like a good party.
And she wants
Just wanna
to
help.
continue to live in the suburb. That I know.
Okay.
so if anybody has anything else, I mean, we'll adjourn the meeting formally and
As far as the party part, so you kind of comprehend
I do.
the situation.
Yeah.
At the end of the first party, her and her friend went outside. And there was an officer sitting down the end of the street. He just turned his blue light on. And they were yelling and shooing everybody out of there, yelling at him, "This ain't the ghetto, get out of here, get going." And they yelled that repeatedly.
All right.
So it kind of gives you an atmosphere of what kind of partying was going on. It was some out of control.
So they were getting Uber,
That's the
rides,
biggest
all
thing.
these other things that were.
Yeah.
And-
I'm really sorry to hear about this sooner.
I wish I had, because I should have said that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
yeah,
sorry
I
to
know.
have told you ahead of time, so you
Yeah.
could have been involved in trying to get
Right,
this
well,
resolved.
that's why
Having all of this happen right now, because I'm sure you would have done something.
I
Could
would
done
have
something.
at least tried to address it.
I was
because
kind of harmed in part because she really.
Yeah.
But you shot a video of all their.
I don't,
Oh,
think
yeah.
I didn't need to call you. You should have kept an eye on what was going on in your business.
I can't be out there at
So,
night.
I just.
Alright, no, I think we have a
Yeah,
consensus now and everybody's trying
Yeah,
to.
this was.
I'll be right up.
But without further ado, everybody, I think, we'll adjourn the meeting formally. Thank you all for coming and this is the end of the public safety meeting at about 5:55 and have a good night.
Okay, thank you.